Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk a little bit about fat loss. Actually started my first fight camp on Sunday for Muay Thai. Been practicing that for about 3 years, and so now I am committed to dropping some body fat slash weight to make the weight that I want to fight at. Thought this was a perfect opportunity to kind of dive into fat loss. So my goal is to fight at 170 pounds. It's been a couple years since I've hit that weight, and I'm gonna look up my current weight today. I track it every day. Current weight today is 183.6 pounds, body fat percentage of 15.4%. Um, at my body weight currently, at this body fat percentage, I'm fortunate enough to still be able to see my abs. They're not as defined. I certainly wouldn't qualify as aesthetic um, at this current body weight, body fat percentage, but they are visible. And so it's kind of a comfortable way for me. It's a little bit heavier than I'm used to. I tend to be around 175 to 177, closer to 14.5, 14.7%. Granted, these numbers, when it comes to body fat percentage, it's not very accurate. So when you're trying to judge where you are, you can take a look at you can certainly utilize numbers for scales. You can take a look at photos. Most of it will still be projections, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to look in the mirror and like what you see, especially when you're trying to train for aesthetics. All that to say, thought this was a perfect opportunity to share that fat loss journey with you. I've done this a number of times since I've got into fitness, over a decade at this point. But just kind of a perfect opportunity. I've been flirting with getting leaner for quite some time. Usually lean down for vacations, but this is something that's going to push me to another level, both physically, obviously mentally as well from the fight standpoint. And so thought this was a great opportunity to share one of the main components of what this channel is all about, which is fitness, in addition to travel. But the big thing here is fitness, fat loss, being aesthetic, being strong, being an athlete for life. So what are the main things I'm going to focus on as I um, go down this path of fight camp and getting my weight down to 170? That's the goal. Really no different than any other fat loss phase, to be quite honest with you. The main components are going to be, especially for someone who likes to be strong, who likes to have that muscular physique, strength training is going to be essential. So there's really three things: strength training, diet, and rest and recovery. So the strength training piece, really nothing's going to change from my normal routine. Right now, I do a 4-day upper body split where I focus on getting stronger. Hypertrophy, getting stronger, building muscle more specifically, is all about getting stronger. And progressive overload is just is a fancy way of saying getting stronger. You do that by increasing reps and or weights over time in a particular exercise. You fuel your body properly with the correct nutrition, macros, and over time, if you stay consistent, you will see development or gains in your physique. So that'll stay the same. Now, if I were a professional fighter or an amateur fighter really trying to pave my way, I might get some recommendations to adjust how I train, because I do train pretty hard. I lift some heavy weights and I focus on compound movements. So we're talking a heavy bench, we're talking heavy incline bench, we're talking heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, etc. For a normal fighter, those things might not be, that style of training may not be ideal, but I'm going to stick to the devil that I know. That said, obviously cardio will be a big portion of it as well. But really, once again, my schedule is really not changing. Right now, as I mentioned, upper body split 4 days a week. The other 3 days, I fill with Muay Thai training. So those classes range from anywhere from 75 to 90. With adding the competition training that my gym is hosting for fighters preparing for this competition, it is 90 minutes. So I've gone up from 4 classes a week, and that's really just going to stay the same. The competition class is just a little more intense. It's not really focused on technique, things of that nature. It's more focused on fight IQ, building up your cardio to not gas yourself out. So excited. Obviously have some nerves about it as well. If you've ever done any type of combat training, you know how serious it is. And so the funny thing is you're probably one of the few people, if you train seriously and you actually focus on improving, what you'll find is most people who can defend themselves, can fight, tend to avoid violence at all costs because they've witnessed what type of damage it can do to the human body. So that being said, definitely have some apprehensions and things like that, which are warranted. But I'm excited for the journey to test myself, test my body, test my limits, etc. And I'm not a spring chicken, so this will be an exciting experience. Point number 2 is nutrition. You got to fuel the body for recovery as well as growth. So when there's intensive cardio involved, for someone who wants to have a muscular physique, you want to make sure that you don't overdo it. And so making sure that you're still focused on getting stronger in the gym, not overdoing the cardio to a point of exhaustion, because that could also impact your appetite. So keeping those sorts of things in mind. But the nutrition is really what it's always going to be when you're trying to build a physique, right? At this point, this will be a cut. And so I have to adjust my calories, adjust my macros, but it's sort of the same thing. I'm always tracking my calories. I'm always tracking my macros. So it's a matter of changing those numbers to fit the current goal. And then the last piece here is rest and recovery. It's one of those things that for whatever reason, people overlook. When you train a lot, your body needs that rest and recovery. It needs it to heal. It needs it to grow. All these things coincide because if you're not getting that rest that your body needs, you will end up triggering the hormone gremlin, which is going to make you hungry. So then you find yourself overeating, and now you're in this cycle of you're working out hard, you're doing some cardio, you're watching your diet, but at the end of the day, at some point that hormone just makes the hunger pangs so intense that you find yourself binging 1, 2, 3 times a week because you're not properly resting. So all these things coincide together. So again, this particular video was about the fight camp and preparation for the Muay Thai fight camp. But the reality is these 3 components that I just mentioned, your training, your nutrition, and your rest and recovery are the same things that come into play if you're simply trying to get in shape for vacation, for your health, whatever that reason is. It's really the same. And the same can be said if you're trying to pack on muscle. It's just it's just a little bit of it's adjusting that strategy. But those 3 components will always be super important when it comes to building the physique that you're after. So just wanted to share that with you. I don't think I mentioned the date, so that will be helpful as well. The Smoker, as we call it, some of you folks might be familiar with it. It's who do combat sports. It is scheduled for May 2nd. And so just over a month that I'll have in preparation for this fight camp. I'm excited. Once again, gets to test my skills, get to test my physicality, get to test my mental fortitude, my testicular fortitude as well. And I'm excited. And I just thought this would be a great way to introduce my thought process around fitness, combining it with something fun like the upcoming smoker fight here in May. So looking forward to sharing the journey with you all. Questions, comments, concerns, feel free to share below. Happy to help.